Today I'm much better. I was down with a cold, but I'm doing fine now. So we still want to explore the areas which we can take advantage of as far as business is concerned. There's a lot of opportunities that are available, and now we are exploring the bigger ones as we go, based on our experience and based on what we see. Yes, I'm going to talk to you. Recently, I visited the Low Veld. I'm gonna give you video on that one, a mini one, because it was just during my journey. Hello, Anthony. Welcome, Anthony. Yes, I can see you, Anthony. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Okay, so we're gonna explore more entities. As I was talking to you, I visited the Low Veld. I knew about it because I once stayed there. Anthony is saying he's fine. I'm also fine. I'm better now. I was down with a cold, but don't never mind my voice. It might be hoarse, it might be, but I'm good. I'm good to go, right? So when I visited the Lowveld, I knew about the sugarcane business, but back then when I stayed in Chirezi, it was for it was just bigger companies. Excuse me, I have to see. It was for big companies which were just manufacturing. They were farming the sugarcane and then they would manufacture the sugar. But now there is a change which is accommodating everyone now. The manufacturers are now concentrating on just manufacturing the sugarcane to process it into sugar, the real sugar that they will package and we buy and we use it. Right. Anthony is saying, which place are you talking about? I'm talking about Chirezi. That's Lowveld. There's Chirezi in the Lowveld. There's Chirezi there. There's Triangle, the Mwenes area. As you go further down of the country, Zimbabwe, that's what you call Lowveld is the province. And there are places there like Chirezi. I did my primary education in Chirezi. And there's Triangle there. Hippo Valley there, those are places where they manufacture the sugar that you eat. So the turn around that's there now is the farming is now done by individuals. People can get like an acre, 2 acres, 5 acres. Oh, yeah, welcome, Anthony. He's saying, thank you for the explanation. My pleasure. So we are saying individuals get land there in those plantations, the sugarcane plantations. Some have 1 acre based on your capacity. Some have 2 acres, some have 10 acres, some have 15 acres, right? You plant your sugarcane. Of course, you'll be getting labor from like, temporary workers who come and help you. You have to have a know-how. You have to, some even go for training. They do some training there. You go for training on how to manage the sugarcane plantation, what to look out for. They explain, they teach you everything. If you are willing, if you don't have an idea, some do have idea because some worked there before. So some actually knew what was going on, what to do and how to do it, how to manage the canals, how to employ, how to pay those employers, because they are not full-time, most of them, except you can have your manager who is a full-time, which now if you don't have a know-how, if you are not a pro in that field, you get a manager who is qualified, who is experienced, then he can run that for you. But you also have to learn more about that so that you can manage well And also, if your manager maybe look for greener pastures, you should continue. You should continue with your business. That's why we always talk about upscaling yourself. You have to get more skills, especially in the business that you want to venture in. Have more understanding, do your research, do your calculations, the inputs, the output, the profits, and all that, so that you make an informed decision whether it's viable or not before you even get into such a business. Akmal Boymiro, welcome. How are you? Nice to have you here. Our life. Oh, welcome. How are you doing today? I'm much better, my dear. Welcome, Awe. Thank you so much for joining. Akmal, thank you. Anthony, thank you. Awe, today you're gonna stay. Awe, how are you doing? How is your channel doing? Akmal, how are you keeping? Where are you watching from, Akmal? So we're talking about sugarcane plantations. This is what they do now. You get your piece of land, you farm the sugarcane, and then the manufacturer, they are now only concentrating on buying that sugar from you and process it into sugar. They buy the sugarcane, then they process it into sugar. So that is another opportunity, which is big. On a big scale, you can make a lot of money. Yes, you can make good money, you can make it a big business, and it's also easy to manage because everyone is doing that. So you'll be sharing notes, you will also be learning from other people there who have been there before, but then you carry on, you see. Always saying, I'm doing fine. I'm glad to hear that. Anthony is saying, but isn't it expensive on startup? Not really. Every business you have to have capital. You need to invest into the capital, but you can start small. For you to get reasonable turnover, you really need to have like an acre can do, but you can start small as well, especially if you are not experienced. You can start with a smaller piece of land so that you learn how to manufacture it. What you should know is that business, you have to invest. Thank you people for joining. May I have more likes, guys? We have 7 now. Can we have likes? Double tap on the screen for the like. Awe double tap. Anton double tap. Akimal double tap. And the others double tap. If you can also comment that I see your name so that we acknowledge you guys. Double tap for the likes, guys. I would appreciate that so much. I would appreciate the likes. So we are saying it's expensive as you are asking, but not that there's nothing impossible. You can start small as you get experience and as you also see how it works so that you have more understanding. Then you can decide whether to invest more, which you will, because definitely when I saw those plantations, I was amazed. Really. They're so good. The way I would see it when it was being done by very big farmers then. That's exactly how it is now down there. Well, those who have just joined, we are talking about sugar plantation, the other business that people are exploring so that you can do whatever you want to go into other ventures. You need more money, but you should have an inflow of cash. So we are talking about this place which I visited in the Low Veld. This is a province in our country, and they're doing that sugar plantation. I have a know-how because I once stayed there. That's where I did my primary education in Chirezi. So we visited Triangle. It was just a brief visit because we're just going for an occasion, which was a function. But I took a video, which is mini, but I'll post it at some point. We saw these plantations. They are beautiful. You'll be amazed. And it's individuals who are farming those sugarcane. The manufacturers just buy from you, which means the red market is there. You don't struggle as long as you, no matter how much little you have, you just take it to the manufacturers who are in that same area. They have a big plantation there, and that's where you will sell your sugar cane, and then they will process it into sugar. So that's another venture which we are talking about. You have to invest. Capital investment is needed. There's no business that you can do without capital investment. You really have to do that. But you can always start small and grow bigger. And what I observed that business, and we talked to someone there who is into it, who also attended the function we were doing. And she has also made, this was a woman, and the husband was doing that business, but unfortunately they lost their husband through an accident, a road accident. And she continued. She said she had to go and learn that how it's done. She had to go and learn, and which goes back to our channel also about properties. You see, there's a lot of inheritance, and you really have to see who's gonna. It makes me, otherwise it's gonna divert me. I'll tell you about these people that I've been dealing with about this inheritance thing. You really have to wise up, guys. So we are saying, Awe, how are you keeping? How is your channel doing, Awe? Guys, double tap for the likes. As you join, double tap, guys. Eh? Those likes will motivate me. They might soothe my throat. They soothe my throat. Yeah, so we are saying there are other businesses that you can explore, like this one that I'm talking to you about. These people have grown, and this woman has built here where we in this town where I'm staying. They've built a big house, and I think she has incorporated a child, but she also had to go and learn, like I was telling you. As long as you want to grow in whatever you're doing, you need to learn some skills. You really have to learn. Make sure you improve your skills. So that's what's happening there. And the sugar cane is beautiful. You love it, eh? And that woman was saying they started small, but now she's a big one, though she didn't want to be on camera. But she has grown so big. She has managed to build a home for herself in the city. Different city though, but even there are cities where you can also like settle if you want to. And that brings us to another issue of inheritance. You really have to make sure your family, one or two of your family, have an idea of how your business is going, no matter how small it is. Someone must have. I was also thinking about even your YouTube. Make sure your children, or like in my case, my grandchild. Yeah, I've always been motivating him to say, like, you must start to think of a channel, that what you'll be doing on your channel and all those things. Because this is an opportunity to learn, to have connections, to just do some projects on your own. And it's a way that can also make you grow, have links, make you understand more things. Because the more you get into YouTube, you also start to be interested in other YouTubers, and you'll be learning a lot, and you'll be discovering a lot of things which are happening. And that will make your mind rich. Do you understand? That will make your mind rich. And there's another venture as well. You can venture into mining. Mining is doing well as well. Now I'm saying, as I've told you, we started with the small businesses, but you can't stay there as small businesses. Yes, you will grow. When you get more capital, you need to grow. You need to look at other ventures, bigger businesses, if you can. And we are also looking at things like mining. Mining is doing very well. I was once there. I had I think I had 4 claims in an area which is called Escodini, nearby, about 50 to 60 kilometers from where I stay. This was another area which I was so much interested in. Mining is very good as well. And so what's interesting me is now that the young people, it used to be for the elderly, for the people mature, and those who were in mining were big people who would be like corporations and all that. But things are changing, opportunities are being availed. So you can also go into mining. And what's the process of going into mining? You go, in our country, we call it Ministry of Mines. You go and get a prospectus license. Anton here is saying thank you. We are most welcome for the explanation. And he's saying, how long is the course for that? Those are short courses. Those are very short courses. That lady was saying, was it 3 weeks? She was there for 3 weeks, but I think you'll also be going for other courses for different things, but for the same things, but very short courses. Some can be weeks, mostly weeks, because that will be hands-on. You'll just be trained by the people in the Ministry of Agriculture. Yes, they will be helping you, the extension workers and all that. They can train you. You can also look like those companies which are also buying the sugar. They also want you to have good produce for them to keep afloat with the produce. So they also provide some training, some workshops, which you need to attend. And make sure when you attend workshops, you must have no pen and paper. At times you just think this is simple, it goes into your head, but when you want to put it into practice, you will have forgotten the small nitty-gritties. Those are the most important things. So you need to go always when you're going for a workshop, for a meeting, you need pen and paper, a notebook. If you have like your phone, you can use the notepad and all that. But it's important. Record, no matter how trivial things looks like, you realize that they are not as trivial as that. When you apply to them, those are the things which give you results. So you need to be always recording, writing, and all that, so that you have a good produce, because your business will grow. So we are saying that the mining, how do you get into mining? You first have to look for a prospector's license. Here I'm talking what I know and what I've gone through, and it varies with country by country, right? But the variations won't be that much. There will always be a process. You go, like, you apply for a prospector's license, which you get the same day, and the fees, they always change. Like in our country, the currencies and all that, they always change. You will find out that one when you go to the offices, because otherwise, if I give you the figures now, I will misinform you. But it's not as expensive. You get a prospectus license, that one which allows you to go wherever you hear there is the mineral that you want to mine. Like if you want to mine gold, you go to the areas where they mine gold, you go and look for a space where there is gold, and those spaces are called claims. You go and look for a claim, right? You look for a claim, then you will be having that prospector's license. It allows you to test, to explore, and see if there is gold. If it's there, what's the quality and what's the quantity that you can get, say, from a ton, and you will see if it's worth. You see, for you now, if you've discovered an area, then you have to get people who are called peggers, right? They will go but you still have to get a permission. There are people who are authorized to do that. Then you get a permission from the Ministry of Mines. That Ministry of Mines is managed by a commissioner who will authorize that. You do your forms, you get that, then you can go and explore. You can get geologists, you can get the people. If you are starting, maybe you can even use the traditional way of, these people who are in the mining, they know how to look for these things, who are not even qualified mining engineers or what, geologists. They know because they've worked in the mines for long. So you can first have the random check with those ordinary people. If it's promising that there is, and they even know, the people in those areas, they know the areas where that my mineral is. Because here we have a lot of minerals, like right now, which are open to people to mine. We have the gold, we've got the lithium now, people are mining that, right? There are so many, but the most popular one is the gold, because it has been like open since then. But most people were not like keen to do that because they were not sure how it goes, right? So when you get your claim, when you are satisfied there is gold there, there's a good quality there, there's good output there, you can go back to the Ministry of Mines and now register your claims. They will go with you, they give you the space, because you need big space for mining, right? Because you still have to have some structures there. You have to have the ablution facilities, the toilets and all that. You have to have your workers' space there. They have to have accommodation, right? Yes, you also have to have your storerooms there. You also have, you'll be dealing with gold, which is a precious stone. So you also need to have your security space there. And which people do you need there? You will need your security in the first place. After you get your claims, after you register them, then when you want to do the mining. And one other thing I must tell you is that wherever you find gold, the mineral thing is for the state. So even if you find gold in a homestead, you can register that as a claim. You see, you can register that as a claim because whatever is under the ground, it belongs to the state. So you can negotiate, but you still have to compensate the people who are staying there, or you can like join together and work together. Even if you discover it in your own homestead, you still have to register a claim, right? If you discover it in someone's area, in someone's farm, in maybe some space, whatever it was reserved for or whatever it is for, you have to register. And the best thing to do that so that there are no quarrels, and all that, you can incorporate those people. Be in partnership with them. You share. That's what business is all about. Most business don't succeed because of greediness. You don't want to share. You don't want to share. You see. So I'm just touching the top points. I'm just identifying the opportunities that are there, right? So mining, the gold mine is doing very, very well. I'll try to have made some appointments with people that we can explore. There are some mines which I knew which were doing very well, But apparently, I no longer have those contacts. I lost my contacts, but there are mines which were doing very well, which were run by individuals. Which are the things that you have to have in mind if you are starting, that you will need as time goes on, as you grow? If you find that your mine is doing well, you need security, you need strong rooms, you need the safe. You need also to register for arms, guns, and all that for your security, because this is precious stone. It's just like money, right? Yes, it needs to be secured. You need to like fence your place. You need the chemicals. There are some explosives that you will use there. You need the licenses, right? There's a lot that you need to have, but I'm just giving you some of the ventures that you can pay attention to and find your space in some of them where you have interest. Because some of these things, people think there are specific people who are meant to do that. But we are just sharing information so that you explore, you join those who are doing it. And at times you will be very happy and you will be excited, which means, so that's another venture that we can. So we've talked about the sugarcane farming. Then we also about mining. There are a lot of mining that you can do. And like in Zimbabwe, where I come from, there is mineral in almost every area which you can go to. There's a lot of minerals, especially the gold. There's lithium, there was diamond, but diamond now it's now a special area. It's being mostly managed by the state. But there was a time when it was like for everyone. It reminds me of some issues, guys. Those are stories for another day. Excuse me. It reminds me what happened at some point. Let's leave that. That will be a story for another day. What are you saying, Anthony? Can you make me understand? We leave it for another day. Eh? About diamond. Let me leave it for another day. Honestly, let me leave it. So we are talking about these diamonds. Guys, likes, guys. I need more likes here. Hey, are your fingers painful? Where are you? Mm. So we are saying that there's a lot of mining which is going on, and people are growing those businesses and make them big corporations. Of course, every business will grow over time. It's not something that you can just do overnight. You grow bit by bit, right? You grow bit by bit. So that's the mining area. That's another venture you can look up to, right? I'm just giving you a rundown of the things that you can go into. We will explore them bit by bit. At times we'll try to visit. When we get time, when we're capable, we'll visit some of these ventures. Then you see them practical, how they operate, and you can identify what you might be interested in and what you think you are capable of doing. Right? It also depends with your capacity. But at times, some of these things, you don't need to be afraid. You can join hands and do these businesses. You see? So mining is another venture if you want to go big, right? Then there is fuel, supplying of fuel in bulk, we've been talking about mining, right? A lot of mines use a lot of diesel. I've been there. I've supplied, I do at times even now, but there was a time when I was really into that. I would supply diesel to the, and petrol as well. They use, because they'll be having cars and my machines use diesel. Then I would supply the diesel. I used to supply Shurugi there. Yeah. As I was telling you, there is nothing difficult. It's very far where I would go. But I would go and supply, go with my tanker there, go and supply fuel to the mines. Yeah, the big mines which are here. I used to supply them with fuel. Yeah, but you need to work. Because at times I would travel at night. I remember at times I would arrive home in the AMs coming back. But you know, it will be okay. That will be fueling you because you'll be getting, yeah, your results, isn't it? Because there's nothing easy that you can think of. Yes, you have to work in order to make money, right? So I was telling you about this fuel thing. This is another venture. That's our third venture, right? Number 3. Sugarcane, mining, and we're on the third one, which is fuel supplies. You can do that. Before I did that of supplying, like you want to go to supply to the, like I was supplying to the mines, right? I was also at some point supplying at a service station, right? There was a time when there was scarce of fuel. So there was a lady who was renting a service station. So would also come and pour our fuel there and sell. Though fuel you need to sell in bulk, thousands, 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, 160,000, because you see those containers, they carry 20, they carry 60,000. You can have some which carry 10,000, 20,000, and all that. And there are smaller ones which can carry 5,000. Of course, if you get a need for smaller ones, you can use the mobile containers. That's 1,000. But the fuel, it has to be in big quantities for you to make profits, because the profits is in sense, it's just like groceries. But once you sell in big quantities, you make your profit, right? Yes, so we used to supply this service station. We take our fuel there, we sell, we take our proceeds. The owner of the service station would get commission. But we could have also, Nomsa Mazunga, hi, welcome to our live. Thank you so much for joining. Can you double tap the screen? You just hit the screen twice for a like. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. Greatly appreciated. Just double tap on that screen. Just double tap on the screen. You just hit go on the screen twice for a like. Thank you for joining. You're most welcome. Hey, Nomsa. It's nice to have you on the live chat. And as you are joining, we are talking about business ventures that we are going to. It's our party 2, because we did our part 1 for the small things that people can do to get income, so that they can do whatever they want to do. Isn't it? Our channel is more about properties and investments. So you still have to have some sources of income to go into your business, to go into your building, to go, anything that you want, you need money. And you have to make sure you have some streams of income. So now we've talked about sugarcane farming. I visited Chirezi and I observed that they are doing very well. Individuals are now farming sugarcane and they are processors. They will be buying from you and they're doing very, very well. We also talked about mining. In Zimbabwe, there's a lot of minerals, and people ventured into mining. You can do small mining, small scale mining. You can do the big scale mining. And we've talked about that, how you register your prospector's license, how you how you go and look for the claims, how you register with the Ministry of Mines for your claims, and what you need. Which workers do you need, and all that. We have been talking about that in the mining area. You can ask questions, Nomsa. You can comment, you can add to that. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Are you finding sense in what we are talking? Do you relate with it? You can be commenting there. Anton, what are you saying? You were saying something, Anthony? And then we are saying the fuel. Now, I was talking about fuel, that you can supply fuel to other companies. You can also venture into service station, right? You can go into service stations. And you can also say, excuse me, 2 minutes, right? I'm coming, guys. Because that's what matters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Double tap on the screen for likes, guys. Right, then we were talking about fuel. And so if you are stuck at one place, you just scroll down, just swipe down, you'll be updated. Yes, the market for fuel is so good. Someone is asking, how is the market for fuel? The market fuel, like in our country, as much as people complain that there is no money, excuse me, I have to take a juice to soothe my throat. As much as people are complaining that there is no money, but you'll be surprised, there is always new cars. People are buying cars. There's a lot of cars, which is increasing in the country. It's increasing, right? There's a lot of increase in the market. So those cars, every car, they need fuel every day. They consume fuel, petrol and diesel. So the market is just like, you share this market with everyone. There's a lot of, like right now in my city, people are building new service stations, which shows that the market is there. It's increasing. And even with your naked eye, you can see, because there's so influx of cars. There's so many new cars which are coming in. There's private cars, there's cars for business. Like last time we were talking about the Ubers, the in-drive things. Those cars, they run every day. The transporters, minibuses, the buses that transport people locally, and the buses that transport people to other cities, the long distance buses, the coaches. Yes, and then we were talking about the trucks which transport people locally, to transport goods people who buy. We talked about those line of businesses. They use fuel, right? Not only that, there's also about there's also the big truckers. They use diesel, a lot of diesel. So fuel market is, I don't think you can finish it. And I think everyone get their share in the market. They do. They get their share in the market. right? So that's another business that we are talking. You can also venture, like those people who are outside the country. You can get partners there to supply fuel to the country in bulk, even to your own country. I've seen people going into those deals. Like if you are working in countries where there is fuel, there's those like those people who are in Dubai, there, other countries, Iran, yeah, Iraq, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Where there's fuel, where those countries which have a lot, which is which have fuels as their mineral, they produce, right? There are many countries. So if you are in those countries, find out. You can create business there and supply fuel to your own country. Of course, you have to find out the processes, how you can do that. And be a partner there or be an agent in supply in bulk, right? So the market is there, is available because there's a lot of safe stations which are coming up. And those safe stations, you will never find them empty. The people who are filling station, all you need is just to give a good service to make your place pleasant, and provide other things like where you can eat, eh, where you can buy refreshments, and put maybe like a kiosk there, or even a supermarket if you have the space, and also have good space for the cars not to be congested. People want that. So those are the things that you have to look out to, and it just has to be pleasant. Make it pleasant, make your safe station pleasant. People will flock, and also look for good. Like right now, I still have my suppliers. Every morning, you have to have a marketing strategy. Every morning, it's only that I'm using this phone, I could have shown you. They send me the prices for fuel. They send me the prices for fuel every morning. That's marketing strategy, right? You have to know, you have to keep your clients. And those people, I started to work with them. They were not even in my city. They were in Guero. That's where I would get my fuel to go and supply to places like Shurugwi. Right. So you have to have your marketing strategy. You have to look after your clients and keep them. As I'm speaking, this every morning they send me the price. Prices for fuel, it changes every day. It's just like the currents, right? Where you have the rates every day changing. That's exactly what happens with fuel. The prices change every day. Every day there's a change of price. So you have to update your big clients on the price, so that you don't want someone to go there and they put their order and the price has changed. They will be under budget, right? So these are the places we are talking about. So there is good business in the fuel industry. You find your place, you see what, are you able to do a safe station? Are you able to just supply? Are you able to supply in bulk? We are now going step and ahead. We started with things like markets and vegetables and all those things. So we are exploring, because there are people who've got money, but who are not sure which line of business is doing well or which ones to explore. So we just have to give you the information there. Then you can see whatever you're interested in, you can start to research, right? So we are saying the other thing now that you can do, which is doing very well, it's solar installation. Supplying of solar panels, inverters, solar inverters, supplying Like right now, are you aware the gadgets, ions, which use solar? You venture into those things. Those people are going green and they're using a lot of solar because most countries, especially in Africa, they have a challenge with power. They don't have enough power, electricity, right, to be precise. They don't have enough. So you don't want those cuts to affect your life. You want those cuts to affect your business. You don't want those cuts. It affects even your livelihood. It's inconvenient, right? So what you do is to identify opportunities. Most people are just installing solar, and the solar can supply them with, can open an outlet to supply solar, or you can supply in bulk for the outlets to order from you. You see where you fit based on your capacity in terms of capital. But you can also start small if you don't have that. So you can supply inverters, you can supply solar panels, you can supply the controllers which control the output, right, of the power. Changeover switch, this changeover switch which you use to, like, if you want your, like when electricity is gone, there's load shedding, it's cut off, it can automatically switches on to solar. If you want that, you can do that. If you want to leave it manually, you still have the controller where you'll be switching back to electricity and switching back to solar. All those things you can supply them, right? Batteries. This all will make a kit for the solar. So you can have batteries, right? You need batteries. There are lithium batteries. There are other ordinary batteries, the big batteries that you use and that you will maintain to just be adding battery water, which are like car batteries, but they are bigger. It depends, with people who make their choices. You can also have the lithium ones. So there's a lot of other batteries which are coming in, and you can supply that. You can be a bigger supplier. You can supply in small quantities as a shop or as an outlet. These are business ventures that you can go in, because definitely the population is growing in every country, especially in Africa. Here the population is growing, and properties, more and more properties are being built. They need that solar. They also need the solar to, like, pump their water. Like here we use, like, even in the farms they use irrigation. You need solar to pump your watering instruments, right? In the homes, you need to pump water into the houses. You need the pumps. They use power. And there's always shortage of power in most countries. Besides, it's more expensive. So people always try to cut their expenses, right? People want to cut their expenses. And on solars, expensive in Zimbabwe or affordable? No, in Zimbabwe, they are affordable. It's not out of reach. They are affordable, but it's just an investment, and it's a once-off investment. Once you have, and you can do it little by little. You can start with one solar panel, one battery, and your inverter and all that. You can use it for your lights, for your TVs, and with time you upgrade. You add another battery, you add another panel, and go on and go on. But if you have the money, you can just have a big kit, have your 10 panels at the top there. It can run everything, electric, gas, water pumps, and all that. Then you also have bigger batteries. can use the lithium bigger batteries. If you want the water batteries, you can still have a lot of them, right? So it's expensive, and as you are starting, when you are just investing into solar panel, it's expensive because you need that money to buy all that equipment. But once, and the good thing that you can do is to buy an inverter, which can be like 5 kV and all that, and so that whenever you will be adding, you will just be adding, you won't be changing your inverter. You can just add your batteries, you add your solar panels. You need more money, fine, but once you have it, you will realize it was worth your while. And after the investment, when you have enough, there's nothing else you'll be paying for. Besides, if it's their water batteries, just adding water battery. Oh my God, you enjoy. You just add water batteries. So people are going for that. It's expensive, but people are buying it because people want convenience. People want convenience. So they are installing that, and there are now people who are building and who are moving into the rural areas. That's a great market, a big market for solar, because some areas don't have electricity at all. They don't have the power lines. So those people in the rural areas, they just go for solar. A few in the rural areas who are near the power lines, fine, we'll call it. There are some areas who have rural electrification, but some are not yet, and they might not in the near future. So they are going for solar, and they also want to cut costs. Even with those ones who have electricity, they want to cut the costs. Besides that, they also want to cushion this load shedding. When there's fault, you cushion yourself with your solar. So that's a very good business that you can venture into, either to supply one line. You can only concentrate on supplying batteries. You can also concentrate on supplying solar panels. You can only concentrate on supplying the changers. People will know, they will get used to you, and they will know when you want this, you go to this place. They will also be referred, and you market to the people who do the installation, which takes that to another venture where you can just learn how to install solar gadgets, things like solar geysers as well. Those are things that you can supply. The big Jojo containers, those are things that you can supply in relation to, as I'm talking to you, I'm seeing my fuel supplier is sending me the prices. I wish I could be able to show you. I've just seen it there on my phone. My fuel supplier is showing me, stays updating me on the, excuse me, it's updating me on the price for today. I wish I could open and then would tell you how much today the fuel price is. That will be wholesale price, right? The prices that they give other people in bulk. Right. So we are saying people are moving to the rural areas. They want to stay there. They want to do their projects there. They need light. Some people are going. Remember, we talked last time. We talked up on the other video, in the other live. We talked about chicken farming. You need light, and people are using solar out there in the farms and all those places. So the market for solar is just like there. It's available. It's a venture that you can go into and you won't regret. You can also learn the installation. To know how to do it well. Because there are faults that can happen if the solar is not installed properly. They can be burst, and that can burn down properties. And we don't want to experience that. And you don't want to be the person who is to be blamed for that. So you can also learn how to install. You can have your installer at your outlet so that when you supply your goods, you recommend your installer, and you can also give a backup service to the items that you have sold. So what are we saying now? We are saying, look out there and identify opportunities, business opportunities, which you can do in small scale, which you can do in big. You can actually bring containers. If you're a big investor, bring containers, maybe of batteries, they will sell. Bring containers of solar panels, they will sell. You can wholesale. Bring containers of solar geysers, they will sell. Right? Do you understand? Guys, do you? So there's a lot of things that you can do. You can do that, all these businesses. Right? So on solar, there will be also some cords. You remember they use the cords, like just as you install your electricity, you need the wiring. So it's the same with solar. There's wiring also that's needed. There's a lot of other components that you use to connect and all that. Those things, you can venture into them and supply. And you can start by supplying the smaller ones. You grow and go to the next bigger ones, and grow and maybe even become just supply all the things that are needed for solar installation. You can have the whole package where you can like supply the whole package. Like the big shops here, they do that. They have the whole package. They have the panels, they have the batteries. Even other smaller shops, they do that on a small scale. What you can afford, don't have pressure. Yes, you agree, Anthony. Yes, you agree, honestly. Have you used the solar, Anthony? Anthony, do you know how solar is used? Have you used the solar? Have you experienced the convenience of using solar, Anthony? So as we are saying, like a question they were saying, is it affordable? It is so affordable, and people want to venture they want convenience, and they all want to like easy life. They don't want the stress of saying there's no electricity, I can't do this, I can't work, I can't do that. Generators were the option which was there, but they are expensive to run because of the fuel. So most people are moving away from that. And Nomsa is saying, yeah, there is a lot of things to get money, but capital, dear, because the solar items are expensive. Shame. So true, Nomsa. So true. But will you agree with me that you can start by supplying just one small component? Say you only think of supplying the changeover switch. You go and order the changeover switch and concentrate on that. You go and supply them. After that, maybe you venture, you have two items. Then Nomsa, have you used solar? The way you're talking, you've installed solar, right? Have you used it? Is it convenient? And did you afford to install solar in your home? And how does it feel? Do you think it's a wise idea? And when you purchased your solar, did you realize the market was doing well? Do you think those people are doing good business with the solar? Nomsa is saying very convenient. Anthony is saying yes to some extent. So Nomsa is saying very convenient. So do you relate? And Nomsa, as you were buying your solar, were there other people who were buying also? Do you think it's viable? Is it being viable for those people who are supplying the solar equipment? and the installers as well. Do you think there's good business for that? Because from my observation, there is, right? And one thing, these gadgets, they get replaced with time, right? Like geysers. I had my geyser, which I bought, I don't know, 7, 10 years back, which I had to replace last year. The body went rust. So it's an ongoing business. It's ongoing. Yes, and they're saying yes, yes. Yes, so it is expensive. Like we said, it's very expensive to install solar, but you can do it with phases. You can start with the minimum package and then increase it with time. But the only thing that you have to put in mind is your inverter. Make sure you get a bigger inverter so that whenever you want to add, to increase your capacity, it won't be a problem. You will increase your capacity. You can add more panels, you can add more batteries, and you until you get to the level where you think you are well covered. You see, that's the solar thing. And then the installation. You just need your screwdrivers, you need your equipment, and you learn how to install, you can make money. You go to the people who supply the solar equipment, you tell them I'm an installer, they'll always recommend to you. You prove to them that you know what you're doing, you understand, and then they can be referring clients to you. They call you whenever they supply, they give you a client, you can agree on a commission that you can give them, or you do a good job for them. You can employ it. Some companies have employed the installers so that when they sell their equipment, those installers will come and do it for you. So they incorporate the charge into the equipment that they are selling. Some you can pay them separately as the installer. And they also need backup. You'll have a backup service, right? If it's faulty, if you have queries, they can always come and service for you or do repairs for you. But those things, once you've bought, you have no other cost, my dear. And in Africa, we have abundance of the sun. We have abundance of the solar. So even in winter, like right now, we are in winter. But the solar, I was amazed. I was mesmerized, really, to see that around 5 o'clock, it will be dark, but the solar starts to charge. I'm also using solar, right? I'm not talking about things that I'm dreaming of. I'm using solar, and I've experienced the convenience, and I've experienced the need as well. It's really necessary to have your solar, especially in countries like Zimbabwe where there's gas. But I think generally Africa, most of the areas, they have electricity shortage. And the reason is the population is growing. You know, our countries have population which is increasing. More properties are being built, and they all need to have a share of that electricity from the same source which was there time immemorial, right? So we can't run away from that. No matter how the nations have been prepared, they will still be overwhelmed. So you meet halfway. You also do your part as an individual. Besides, you need your convenience. You need that definitely. Because at times you have important things, like most people would want to buy their relish in bulk. That is economic. And can you imagine when electricity goes or when there is a fault, those things can go bad and can lose. But if you have your backup, your solar backup, that can help you in a way. And it will also it will reduce your bill. Your electricity bill will be reduced. right? It will be reduced. Uh-huh. So those are the other business ventures that you can go into based on your capacity. You choose where to start from, supplying small components, supplying these other components, supplying a kit, supplying bigger components. Can only concentrate on supplying the solar panels, the ones you put at the top there. You can concentrate on that until maybe you're able to supply the whole kit. You can have a small outlet, or you can first supply from your backyard, or here there is people who always like vendors. You can go and sell. You can, like right now, this opportunity of digital marketing, guys. You can have them in a corner in your house. You can have a heap of your solar panels there. You advertise on your WhatsApp. One person will come and buy. The next person will also come and buy. Once they start to use, they will recommend to others by word of mouth. That's a good thing now that there's so much networking. Someone who is overseas there who's got your contact, they can see that you are selling these things and they might be in need. And that can make you grow. And the other people may even offer, if you don't have enough money, they can give you a deposit and you order. As long as you do these things in good faith, you just have to be reliable. That is one important aspect of doing business. Be reliable. Even in those who believe in the Bible, it says use accurate judgment. They say use accurate measurement when you are doing business, and that can bless your business. Don't cheat people. Don't shortchange them. Don't give them, when you sell your products, when you choose your products, choose good quality, which will satisfy the customer, and that can make your business grow. Because they will recommend, I bought my solar 10 years ago and it's still working. Where did you buy it from? I bought it from NOMSA. You get a customer. But if you also do the opposite and people are complaining it's faulty, then you lose your business, which might mean you have gone into the wrong line. You might have to change. You might have to change, right? So this is a very, very good business as far as I'm concerned. They are doing very well, the people who are doing this line of business. There's no money. Fine, people are complaining of recession, people are complaining of, it's just not good in the economies, but people will still need to survive. They still sacrifice for that little that they want. Yes, Anthony is saying amen. So true. You use accurate measurement when you are doing business. Don't shortchange people. Don't take advantage of your clients, because a good name is the best asset in a business. If you have a good name, that's why you see when people are selling business, they sell the goodwill. They sell the goodwill. That's all that they're selling, the name that they've built. And that name is built trust, being reliable, being swift. That's what you'll be selling. And it's very expensive to buy a goodwill. So if you build your name, just having if you are saying I'm selling 2 liters, let it be 2 liters for sure. Don't be greedy to just like manipulate people. You lose more than what you're going to benefit, because people have eyes. Eventually they will discover. Eventually they will see. People have common sense. That's one you should know. People have common sense. People think. People see. So you should never think that you are clever than other people. They might not look like clever on face value, but they reason, they think. God gave everyone their senses. So make sure you are honest with yourself when you're doing business, and that can make your business grow. That's why you see some people, they even get payment in advance. because they've built a name. Some people can come and pay a deposit and still come and pay because they've built a name. So business is equally built based on your character. Right. So the other area is the hardware. Like we're just running down, listing the businesses that you can pay attention to and do your research and see which one will be you think you can try. Hardware. Hardware here we are talking of bricks. Last time we talked about bricks and we talked about means of being able to supply bricks, opening accounts with the companies which manufacture bricks and supply, be middlemen, or even manufacture. There are companies which are manufacturing bricks here, which started very small, but now they are big. And also we talked about having trucks, trailers that can transport those bricks to the buyers, right? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So there's a whole lot of opportunities out there that you can explore, but you just make sure you analyze and see where you fit and you fit well, which one you can manage based on the circumstances around you. You see? And like right now, some of these things you can import them while you're still in your home, right? Some of them you don't even need to travel. You can just go to travel to go and identify your suppliers, to go and see, assess the quality of the products that they can do. And in the end, you can just do all those things. You communicate with your client, you buy, they bring, they send, and all that. You see, and those who are engineers, you can start to manufacture these things, guys. You can start to manufacture these things. You can start to manufacture your solar panels because in the batteries, like batteries, even in my own country, lithium, there's people who manufacture lithium and export it as raw as it is. And you can venture into that, manufacturing batteries. Make sure you arrange to get the lithium, process the lithium locally, and that can cut the cost of these batteries. Those who have the technical know-how, you see? So the hardware is here. We are talking about people, the builders, they have their own type of tools that they need. That falls under hardware. You supply those things, right? Cement, there's a lot of construction going on. You stock your cement. Right now, even in my country, it's easier now because the time I used to sell hardware, I used to sell bricks and cement. I would make sure I find someone who is in the areas where there's a lot of construction and I supply them. Why then? Because the manufacturers of cement we had, they never used to allow people to buy small quantities. They would want you to buy the whole truck, which was 600 bags of cement. So you'd need to be on their list, go and apply there and prove that you'll be a consistent buyer, and they would need a number of things, your company and all that. So you become one of their customers. I used to go and buy that. 600 bags, get your load. It will be cheaper because you're buying in bulk. You put your markup, you supply. We can identify a new area. There's a lot of development in terms of construction. You go and put a place there, even a house, even someone who stays there. Give them those things and sell, or go and sell yourself. Market it and go and supply. So we used to get those truckloads of cement and buy. It was the same with bricks. I remember you would not buy bricks for which are less than 5,000. So those were opportunities. And these opportunities are still there. They only changed the dynamics around those things just to, I think, to match what's going on. So you can still do that yourself as well. Identify where you're interested. I mean, I've always been interested in things to do with construction, right? With these things, construction, cars. Remember, I told you I was into car sales. That's why I was also interested into fuel. The time I would identify the time I wanted to go into fuel because it was my interest. And construction has always been my interest as well, properties. So I easily identified the bricks, the cement, because it's in your interest. So you can always easily identify where your interest is. So you can easily identify the opportunities. But it's also good to be open, be a supplier also. We used to be called traders, right? Were we? Buying and selling. Because there's nothing which will remain. Like if you find out that the more businesses which were viable then, which were common then, they change with time. They phase out. Because I remember I told you I used in our last video, I talked about I used to supply spare parts, car spare parts, and I was also based in an area where there is buses. So my shop was there, and I would sell 20 liters of oil. I would buy them, order in 20 liters. Why? Because that area was with buses, and buses used to use every bus around there would come maybe for 60 liters in the morning. Very informative, sister. Thank you for encouraging us. Sometimes you will be saying it's too late for this kick. No, it's never too late. You only adjust. Nomsa, you only, thank you so much for that comment. I'm happy to hear that it's informative. Thank you. No, it's never too late. The only thing you will do is to adjust the way you were doing things. If you were carrying things to go and sell, as you say, it might be too late, maybe based on the age. It won't be. You just change the way you were doing business. Like right now, you do online. Then you get out of your house to go and supply. It means it's not difficult at all. So I was talking, Anthony saying, thank you. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that, Anthony. So I'm saying here, and thank you for staying, guys. I'm super excited. Eh? Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. So I was also saying you can go and I used to supply oil, right, for buses, because buses would use a lot of oil. Why? Because it was old model and they were also getting older. So every morning, each bus company would buy like 100 liters. So this would be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Imagine. Each another company also buy, another company buy. They come and take in the morning. When they cash out, they come and pay. But like right now, that line of business phased out because later on in our country, there are new cars coming from Japan, which are also newer, and they are not also using a lot of oil like it used to be. Even the mini buses, the local transporters, they would also buy a lot of oils in 5 liters every time, every day they pour oil into their cars, which caused that market to be very, very viable. But now it's different because there are new models of cars, there are new cars. As we're talking of solar, there are cars which use solar, which use less fuel because they are also using solar, right? Power, there's also the electric cars which are coming in. So you move with time, right? You also move with time. That causes the other line of business to be redundant or to be less viable. So, but as long as your eyes are open and that's a line you see, you replace that with other things. You replace that with other things because you have to, as a business person, you have to be innovative. You also have to diversify every time and keep updated with the trends, and that will help you. So we are talking about hardware. You can supply a lot of things which fall under hardware. You can just concentrate on one line, one line. Like if you want to concentrate on bricks, you build your clientele on bricks. Then you can find you'll be busy with your bricks. And you can also like concentrate on your cement. Pascal Mlenga. Hi, Pascal. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Pascal, how are you keeping? You're welcome. Double tap on the screen for a like. Thank you so much, Pascal. Yes, you find us, we are still talking about business ventures that are available. We had another video. If you didn't watch it, you can always watch it. Our last live, we talked about this, but we're starting from small businesses. And now we are scaling up. We're going up to bigger businesses. We are going up. How are you, Pascal? How are you keeping? We are going to bigger businesses depending on your capacity, right? So we have talked about sugarcane, farming sugarcane in the low veld in our country. There's that business where you can manufacture sugarcane, and the processors now they no longer plant, they only buy from those farmers who are around. So there's a lot of farmers who are planting sugarcane, and they have, depending on your capacity, you can have 1 acre, 2 acres, and all that. So that's another venture on a bigger scale, right? And we talked about mining as well, right? Pascal, I'm very well. Are you the madam from Zimbabwe? Yes, I'm from Zimbabwe, Pascal. Excuse me, I'm sipping my juice. Yes, I'm the lady from Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. Thank you for being my family. It means you know me well, right? Thank you. I appreciate you, Mlenga. Thank you so much. So we are talking about business ventures. Excuse me. I was down with a cold a few weeks back, but I'm getting better. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry about that. Pascal is saying I no longer see your videos on YouTube. I'm sorry about that. There are a few new ones and some lives. Maybe you can check on my lives, and you can also check on the playlist. But I have a number of videos which are coming. I don't know if you watched up to, they were not flowing as much as before, but they are coming, my darling. They are. I'm sorry about that. There were some supervening impossibilities because my videos involve a lot of traveling. So my family, YouTube family, at times they assist me there. So at times I just go and do the videos. Then I'll need time to like edit them and post. So there are a number of videos which I've done, and they always tell me which areas they're interested in. I've done a number and I'm gonna post. But I think definitely there are some which we haven't seen. There are some which we haven't seen. And you're encouraging me to keep posting. Thank you, Pascal. Yeah, my family, I appreciate that. But just check and see on the lives if there are some lives which you haven't seen and some videos which you haven't seen of late. So here we have talked about venturing into mining just to raise money, because most people are saying we can't build, we can't buy land because we don't have money. And so we Others were asking, how are people in Zimbabwe making money? How are they building? So we now giving information on how people are surviving, how they are making money, and the other opportunities that you can explore as well or identify. If so, we're just oh, you're from Zambia, and I subscribed to your channel during the time Mara visited your country. Oh, what a blessing, Pascal! Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your presence on this live as well. It means a lot. May you be blessed and blessed abundantly. Thank you so much. You know, it means a lot. Mara family, thank you so much. I appreciate that. How are you keeping? How are you keeping? Pascal, thank you so much for your subscriptions, guys. I appreciate. I reached 1,000 subscribers a few weeks back. If you watched the other, if you are gonna watch the other live, I mentioned it out. I appreciate. I'm just now working on watch hours, so I do appreciate when you visit my live because I'm running behind with watch hours, and it's quite a mammoth task because I've gone over a year and I'm losing some of my watch hours, so I have to feed in to replace those because I'm short of almost 800 watch hours. I need 800 watch hours, but it won't be 800 because some are deducted every day. I don't know if you understand about YouTube, because I've gone over a year, so I lose some of my watch hours and I need to increase them. I need new 800 watch hours, but I will need more because I have to replace these watch hours which fall down. So I really appreciate when you support me. Nomsa is saying congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nomsa. So if you guys can support me on the watch hours, just join my lives and stay for longer, and also let's chat to me, talk to me about what I'll be talking about. I would appreciate that because I'm really on a marathon. I'm in a marathon, so please kindly continue like the way you did with my subscriptions. It was quite easy, and I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Nomsa. I appreciate. It's because of you guys. Every subscription matters. They were coming in and they reached the 1,000 now. We're actually 1,000 plus. So our watch hours is what matters most. Now, that's the field we are in. So Pascal, stay, guys, stay. We need to go up to 2 hours, right? So we need about 30. I need about 32 minutes more. So kindly stay. Kindly be commenting there. Your comments means a lot. Ask as many questions as you want. Comment as much as you can. That will help us. So we're talking about how to make money, because these were questions which people were saying, but how are these people building? If I want to build, where do I get this kind of money from? If I want to buy land, how do I raise the money? So we are just giving out this information so that maybe you can identify your space, which you will definitely. I'm certain you will. But at times it's people, because they won't be having this information. So at times you don't know where to start from. Some people do have the money, but they don't know where to start from. Some people do have the energy, but they don't know which one to focus on. Top fans, thank you, my top fans. Thank you. Thank you, top fans. So at times it's just like you want to make informed decision. You want to have an idea about that business. You might know, yes, people are doing the solar business, but how, what involved? So at least if we give you the skeleton, then you can go and add your flesh there. You do your thorough research, but at least you'll be having an idea, and at least you'll be knowing what to look for, what to search for. Like we talked about mining, we talked about prospectus license, we talked about the licenses, we talked about the pegging, we talked about, how they will come and do the accolades and all those things. So we give you the basic information on and the businesses that you can identify. And you know yourself, given the circumstances, given your capacity, you can identify. So we are now going, we talked last time, we talked about the smaller ones, but now we are like going into the bigger ones, which is possible because we've been there. As I was telling you, I did the mining as well, I did the fuel as well, I did the hardware as well. So some of these businesses, you can do them. What you need is more information. And every time when you hear about an opportunity, do calculations. Know what's involved. Ask, how do you do it? How does it go? Where do you get the stuff? How do you identify suppliers? How do you identify the quality? How do you test the quality? What's the markup like? What's the cost to travel if you need to travel? What's the cost to ship if you need to ship? And how much profit, you need to do that before you venture into something. Don't just jump and say people are making money, but you need to do your research. But at least my job here is to like give you rundown of things which you can do and give you the basic information on what I know based on my experience, based on my observations, and what's happening now, right? The trends, the market, right? So the rest you also go into your market research and see if it makes sense to you, then you can jump into that one. So, Nomsa, you were talking about it being too late in terms of age. There's nothing like that. I don't think so. It can hinder unless if you have some challenges like disability or things like that. But you'll be surprised. There was one point when I met a woman who was from South Africa, who was on a wheelchair, who had visited my city where I stay. And that woman, in South Africa, she was into road construction. She was into road construction, but she was on a wheelchair. She was the director of a company which was doing road construction. So at times, disability is not like an obstacle. Age also might not be, but what you need to do is just like to work with your circumstances and identify which thing you can manage easily based on the circumstances surrounding you. What you can do, how you can do it, thank you. Yes, Nomsa is saying yes. So you can identify things that you can run with, things maybe you can do maybe twice a week, things which you can supply like twice a week, businesses that you can do from the comfort of your home. Like I was talking to you about importing things. Like right now, it's even better. There's technology. You search your things on the internet. You only invest into the Wi-Fi, right? You invest a lot into your Wi-Fi. You get on there, you search for goods, you search for, like, say we want to go into solar, you search for the companies, which countries. Of course, you find out from others, where is this solar coming from? China. Is it coming from wherever? Coming from Italy? Then you look for those things online. Right now, there's a lot of privileges. You check online, you interact with companies, you see how it goes. You might find your link there. Some people may even say, I'll send you goods and you will pay when you've sold. I've discovered a lot of people who are doing that. It takes time, but it can happen. And it's happening with others. Do you understand? Do you get me? So it's only about having the information, knowing where things are, how they go, and identifying something that can suit you so that you don't have too much pressure. So, as an elderly person, you also identify the line that will be suitable for your capacity. Like right now, as I was telling you, that the people there, my supplier for fuel was sending me the prices for today, because fuel price change every day. So I saw it flashing there. They were sending me the prices for fuel, but I'm not doing it with pressure. Whenever I have the prices are good for me, I ask my clients if they're interested, I go and supply, right? But I'm not like the young people who are like, they are under pressure. They want to take children to school. They want to do that. They have to work harder, and they can like run around and do so. You can't like compete with those ones. Yes, thank you, Nomsa. She's saying thank you. I appreciate. Thank you. It's my pleasure, Nomsa. So you have to adjust, but you will never fail to get. Have you seen some old people with shops? Yes. And you can also employ depending on their come. Yes, Anton is also saying thank you. Oh, my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I'm happy you are taking something away. And then we have talked about hardware. And then we also have the building contractors. That's my area. When I get there, I get so excited, right? Building contractors. You can be a registered building contractor. It doesn't mean you have to be a builder, but you have to have a know-how. That's important. You have to have the know-how. Because the thing that I've known is whenever you want to manage something, you should have the knowledge. Because if you don't have the knowledge, your business can be messed up because you can't monitor. You can't put set up strategies. You can't put checks and balances because you don't understand it. You have to have a basic knowledge about these things. If you don't, you learn. That's why it's very important to learn. When you want to go into something, read more about it, learn. Like right now, there's a lot of information on YouTube. You choose. You choose. On the internet, there's a lot. You can learn there. Online, seated in your house. How does this business go? You can go into your search engine, Google. Hey, if I want to go, what does it take to be a building contractor? You sit down and study that and learn about that so that when you go into your business, at least you can manage it. You can set strategy, because the thing with business, you have to set strategies, right? Otherwise, you are at times you are too late or you are too fast. You have to be timeous with things. You have to understand. There are businesses which are like seasonal. You have to understand. There are businesses which are capital intensive. You have to understand and see if you fit there. There are business. So you need, oh, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony is saying thank you for the information. It's my pleasure, Anthony. I'm happy you are taking something away. And Lala Jan, hi, Lala. Laila, welcome. You're most welcome. Double tap on the screen, guys. You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Where are you watching from, Laila? And PS, welcome. Welcome, PS. How are you? PS is saying, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? You are welcome, PS, are you the one who is from Bangladesh, the cricket country? You're welcome. And PS is still on his mission. He says he wants to see outside of the house. PS, that's not related to what we are talking about. Laila, says my pleasure. Thank you, Laila. PS saying yes, I'm from Bangladesh. You are welcome, PS. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. Laila, thank you so much. You're welcome. Yes. So we have been talking about the business. Remember those who were there, PS, you were there. Yeah. Laila, I think you were there also, right? Laila, which country are you watching from? Oh, Pia is saying, I want to see your culture. Laila, I'm from Pakistan. Oh, welcome, Laila. Thank you so much for joining. Pakistan is in the house. Oh, I'm humbled, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Laila. Double tap on the screen for the likes. I appreciate you so much. It means a lot. As we were talking about, technology, like right now, we are just linked, and these are connections. These are people that we are linked with from other countries, and we can learn a lot. And PS saying, I want to see your culture. PS, African culture is the same. You have seen that, and you can always watch on the channel. I'm happy you want to see other people's cultures. It means a lot. I'm also interested so much in the culture, in other people's culture, because you need to understand other people's cultures, then you can appreciate them. So, PS, my culture is African. And on my videos, just go on my playlist. You will see how our houses look like, how the outside look like, and you can interpret our culture. But we'll be talking more on the other videos as we go on, and you will be learning the cultures bit by bit. You will be seeing, you will be learning, you will be understanding the cultures, and you will appreciate we have a beautiful culture in Africa. Beautiful culture. I know a bit about Bangladesh. You remember I told you I knew Bangladesh for cricket? Yeah, so I also want to know more. I really know more and read more and watch more about other countries. You start to appreciate other, like Pakistan. I really watched a number of things from Pakistan there. I appreciate a lot. Laila, thank you so much. PS, thank you so much. Nomsa, thank you. Anthony there, thank you. Yes. So we are now going further to explore. This is our part 2 for the ways how people are. This is the other culture that you can learn. PS, like you requested. We are talking about how people in our country make money. You remember last time we talked about the smaller businesses. Today we've gone into the bigger projects that you can do, the bigger businesses that you can venture into. So we've talked about sugarcane farming. If you know, here our sugar comes from sugarcane. So people now have ventured into farming sugarcane. As individuals, you can have your size, 1 acre, 2 acres, 20 acres of farming sugarcane. It's now something which is being done by individuals. It used to be done by corporates. And now the corporate is now only concentrating on manufacturing the sugar, processing the sugarcane into sugar and into a number of sugars. There will be other sugars, but they start with the ordinary sugar. So these people manufacture the sugarcane and go and sell it to the processing. Right. So that's another business that we've talked about. And some are doing it in large scale, and they're making good money, and they are building, and they are expanding their businesses, and they venture into other businesses because it's a viable business. There's a video that's gonna come, like Mlenga was asking about my videos. That video is coming. It will be a glimpse of how the sugarcane plantation looks like in the area and the processing area. It was just brief because I was just passing through that area. I'd gone there for an event. So that video is coming, I think, this week, right? Because I've done part of it. It's small, it's not detailed, right? But you'll be seeing, right? Because we're a group, so we were just talking, and we were just talking also about that, what we were seeing, because we were mesmerized also because it was our first time to see it. I stayed in that place when I was in primary school. That's where I did my primary school. But back then it was only being done by the big corporate company which was manufacturing that sugarcane. But I was also excited to see that it's now being done by individuals. So it really blew my mind. And that's why I'd take a video, but I didn't have a time to go there because we were with other people. So I just managed to. Health Bites, welcome. Good morning, Mavis. How are you today? I'm good. I'm good. Health Bites, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. You're welcome. I didn't get your notification. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do a notification. Health Bites. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But thank you for joining. You are most welcome. You're most welcome, Health Bites. I've realized every time if I do a notice, I miss the time. Something comes up and my family will be crying. We checked for the live, we didn't see it. And I feel so bad. I feel like I'm letting you down, guys. So I just jumped onto this one, and I really appreciate you are here. Appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Otherwise, how are you keeping Health Bites? I'm sipping some water, guys. How are you keeping? And thank you so much for being here. Health Bites. Health Bites. You are in Nigeria, right? Am I right? If I'm not, I'm going to give myself a punishment. I should know. Oh, I'm glad you are okay. I'm glad you are good. I'm also good. I was down with a cold, but I'm now good. It's only my throat. That's why I'm drinking. It hasn't cleared, but I'm good. Health Bites says no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apologies. Which country? UK. Yeah, welcome. Health Bites. Oh, my apologies, my darling. I'm writing it there. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you, UK. My apologies. Yes, so Health Bites and PS and the others who are just joining, we have been, you remember last time we were talking about, people were saying, how do people get money to build? How to get money to buy land? How do we get money? So last time we talked about smaller businesses that we can do. So today we have gone a step ahead. We are talking about other bigger projects, other bigger businesses that people can venture into. And here I'm talking about business that I've experienced, that I've been to, which I'm talking about things that I know. And I'm also talking about things that I've businesses that I've observed, and other businesses that I know are existing. I've been there. So me as an inquisitive mother, I always make sure I have some information about those that I haven't ventured into. Some are new business, like today we talked about the sugarcane, because I visited that place and I saw sugarcane plantation. I knew about it because I learned in that place my primary, but it has taken another dimension that is now being done by individuals. And we talked about mining. I've done mining before. I had 4 claims. And the difference now is that people are now using equipment, and they're also going into joint ventures. There was a point when I almost got some investors, but there were some changes which happened and it affected me. But I understand. I know about mining. I know quite about mining. So I was explaining to people, how do you start in mining? You need to get a prospectus license if it's gold. Here in Zimbabwe, there's a lot of minerals. Like we have gold, which is the most popular one. We've got lithium. We've got emerald. Emerald is now more on for the state, but we've got lithium. People are going into mining that. We've got a number. But the gold one, I explored that one. I was into it. So I was explaining to people, how do you start and what does it mean to know that there is a mineral? What do you do? So we talked about it. That's great. Business is a good way to create wealth. Thank you, Health Bites. Thank you so much. So true. So true. So true. So we talked about mining, that you need to get your prospectus license from the Ministry of Mines that will allow you to go and look for areas where you can mine gold. You use that license, a prospectus, that you are prospecting to be a miner. So you go and look for a place. If you discover where there is gold or where there is the mining, the mineral that you want, you go back and you inform the ministry, and you will have to look for a Pegas. You go and also look for geologists to explore and do your tests and all that. Once you get a place, and know any place that you get for mining, whether it's a homestead, whether it's a farm, you can always amicably talk to the people, because whatever is under the ground, it belongs to the state. So you can go and negotiate with the people. Some will use the violent way, which is not good for business, I'm sure. The best thing would be you negotiate with the person who is there. If it's in your farm, the better, but you still have to go and register it. If it's in someone's place, you can negotiate, discuss, become joint venture. You join together, you register your mine, you register your claims, and you work together. Business is about sharing. If you are like me, you don't want to share, at times you don't go far with businesses. You have to incorporate others, go into joint venture with the person, so that you don't have squabbles. You don't hurt some people in the process as well. Because you can imagine, if it's someone's farm and you just go there, you want to take over the mine, because the ministry will give you that, because they say wherever there's minerals, it's the state owned. They can give you a license, but you don't want to be fighting people where you are doing business. You need good relations with others, right? So, hey, I want to see you. Where is your daughter? Oh, PS has its own interests, but here, let's just have to make money. PS, I'm talking to you about how we make money here, what business we can do so that you get what you want. I understand you. I hear where you are coming from. So we are talking about the mining thing. Then you can start now to mine if you get your license. You need equipment. We talked about the things that you need in a mine. We are saying these are precious stones, which is money. You need to have good security. You have to have arms, which you need to register as well. You have to have safes. You have to have like the strong rooms. When you grow, but you start small, right? Yes, you need to have the equipment, the crushers, the mills, if when you grow, but you have to have an idea of what you will need. But you can still go and mill by other people's mills, and they charge you. At times, some people, they charge the grams. Say if you have your mill, and your quantity of the ore has given you 10 grams of gold, maybe the miller will say, you give me a gram, which is fair. So that's how others pay. You pay a gram there, you don't need cash to pay them. And you will need all those things. That's what we were talking about. You need transport, but those are big ventures. There's small scale mining, where you don't need equipment at first. But as you grow, you still want your business to grow. You have to have an idea to say, suppose I succeed in this small scale mining, how can I grow? Yes. So we talked about mining, we talked about fuel, and I was explaining that I've done fuel, I've supplied fuel to mines, I've also sold fuel at a service station, and even now, as we were talking, my fuel supplier was showing me the current price, because fuel price is just like currency, they fluctuate every day. The price for fuel, it's not stable. It fluctuates every day. There's a new price every day. So they always send me the new prices for the fuel. So I was telling people here that you have to also have to maintain your clients. Every business will succeed depending on how you do it, how you market it, how you inform your people. So there's these people who still they tell me when there's fuel, the price for the day. If the price is favorable, then if I have someone, the mine, I used to supply mines. If there is a mine which has made an inquiry for fuel, I can quote them because I already know the price. And like for me to wake up and go ask, well, how much is fuel? That's a marketing strategy. So we're saying you really need to have good marketing strategy if you want to go into business. The Health Bites is saying great business ideas. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Health Bites. Oh, she's saying well done. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you. So we talked about fuel. You can have a safe station because cars are always coming in. So fuels is not a business that can be said it doesn't have clients. There's a lot of cars which are coming. As much as we will be crying that we don't have money, but people still want to use cars. Cars has now become a basic commodity, right? Yes, it has become basic. People want to be mobile. And even if you are doing business, you still need to transport. We talked about the Ubers, the in-drive cars. We talked about the transport, which will transport people. They all need fuel. So that's another line of business that we talked about. You can do it as in bulk. You can do it as a small scale service station, and some of you can hire a service station, rent rather. You can rent a service station and supply. When you see these big companies like Total, they have their service stations, but they also let them out to people to run like a franchise, right? So those are things. So what I was saying, we just running down the things which are available. And when you find you have interest in one of these businesses, then you make your research, you do a research. That's true. Lots of cars on the road, so fewer business will go well. Exactly, Health Buys. So true. Because we talked about that, we have private cars, right? We have private cars, and so many of them. Then we also have the other small cars which are used for transport. They use a lot of fuel as well because they run on the roads every day. Taxis, Ubers, minibuses for local transportation. Then we also have long distance buses, the coaches and all that. All those buses, they need fuel. A lot of it. We even have regional. Like here in Zimbabwe, we have buses which go to Zambia, we've got buses which go to Malawi, we've got buses which go to South Africa, so many of them. Per day, there's more than 10 or so buses which leave, like in my city, to go to South Africa. Every day. What about every other city? So they use a lot of fuel. Okay, my network was acting up. So fuel, like Health Bites is relating there. True, we need a lot. We use a lot of fuel. We do. Transporters, like we're talking about hardware, bricks, we talked about cement, all those big trucks, they need diesel. We talked about mining, those mills, they use diesel. Their cars, the crushers, they need diesel. They need, and those companies will also have petrol for other things, small cars, security, and all that. You know, when a gold, you transport it to, you need fuel, right? So fuel is really a good business, and you can easily tell people are building, those who have capacity, they are building many new substations. This day I actually observed in one of the areas about 3 new substations that I observed. And what will give you money is your service. You must have a pleasant place. You must have a place which has space. You must also have competitive prices. Get your goods from a good supplier where you can negotiate price based on your underground capacity. Make sure you have large capacity to carry fuel, big reservoirs, so that you get good prices. You know that the more you buy, the prices gets cheaper. The bulk buyers will give a different price from someone who's buying to fill into the car. So that will give you room for your markup. Yes. So we talked about that, about safe stations, that you also need to have a good marketing strategy, inform your clients about the prices. Like that's when I came to give you an example of those people that they always update their clients about the daily prices so that they can quickly pick and maybe sell, get them, buy if the prices are good for them, because you always need that gap for your markup, right? Yes. So you also have to put other things at your safe station. If you go the safe station where you have to have maybe a takeaway there, you can also have a kiosk there. You can, so that people will have reason. Maybe they want to buy bread when they're going home. They will stop over. Yes, you can have a small supermarket. No, what do you call it? Yes, things like that. You have to be strategic. You have to be innovative. You also have to understand the market. You have to understand the market. So that's what we talked about as far as fuel is concerned. It's a very, very lucrative business now. Then we also talked about solar. We talked about solar. Yes, my business is to talk here. We are on a live chat. So my business is to talk, PS, is to talk. I can't just come here and keep quiet. It's my intention. It's intentional when I go live to give this information out. So I will talk, eh? I will talk. Yes. So that's the whole business. That's my business here, is to talk. I can't just come here and watch the screen and keep quiet. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed, right? Yeah, we are learning. Oh, Health Bites is saying we are learning. Ma, please continue. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Health Bites. Yes, so we are now talking about, so we also talked about solar. I'm just recapping. We talked about solar installation, but for other details, you can still watch the live, right? So we talked about solar. We said the population is growing in all countries, especially in Africa. We have shortage of electricity. The plants which were there are still the same. So their supply is still the same. But the population is growing and the need for electricity is growing, because we are also getting into use of so many gadgets which we never used to. Like we're now using washers, we're now using many refrigerators. At times you need a freezer, you also use another refrigerator, you also have another bedroom small fridge. You see, we use stoves. Yeah, we use the double oven, we use the pressure cookers. electric kettles. You see? Do you understand? So, which means we are using now a lot of electricity. And that's why our supplies are getting low. We have load shedding, we have cuts, we have faults because these plants, I think they are also overwhelmed. So we also always have cuts. But people want convenience, right? People want convenience. And if they want convenience, what do? They look for an option. They are going green for the solar. So this is another line of business. Yes, health by saying, yes, we use more electricity now than before. So much more. Yes, definitely. At least you are relating, guys. Yes. So we are saying all these gadgets, that's demand of electricity. And they also, you understand the concept of the supply and demand. They also increase the charges, the tariffs for electricity. They become higher, trying to reduce the demand. But it doesn't happen because already we are used to this convenience of using all these gadgets that we want to use, the microwaves and all that. So people want to run away to reduce the costs for electricity, for power. So they go solar. People will need to buy the solar panels. People will need to buy the inverters. People will need to buy the changeover switches. People will need to buy the batteries. So we're saying these are some of the businesses that you can explore. You can concentrate like only supplying the solar panels. You can start from the supply solar panels. If you have an opportunity to link up with the suppliers, do your research. See at the quality of the solar panels. Which one are the best? You supply. Concentrate on solars. Maybe you concentrate on batteries. And we even talked about lithium here being manufactured. Those who are engineers can be innovative and start to manufacture batteries so that this lithium doesn't go out there to other countries as raw. We have chemical engineers. You can now think of that business and look for partners if you can and manufacture that. So you can also manufacture batteries, or you can supply batteries. You can import and supply, right? And we can also even manufacture the battery water. It's so much in use because there's a lot of people who are also using the batteries, which use battery water for their solar. Then we also have those which use the lithium and other batteries likewise. So we're saying you can venture into the solar. Choose just small components if your capacity is limited. You can concentrate on supplying changeover switches, the ones which you were saying. Some people want the convenience of saying when electricity is cut off, it changes over automatically to solar. So those are components which they use, right? You can also concentrate like inverters, just to supply inverters. And we also talked about, as individuals, when you install solar, you can start small because it's expensive to install, but it's only expensive when you install. But once you have installed, you have no bills. Once you have had your solar installed and it's running, you have no bill of electricity. You can just have your backup electricity and you are good to go. It's convenient. And people are now moving also into the rural areas. They need solar because some places are not electrified in the rural areas, but they want to run their homes as much as they were running them in the cities. So they're buying solar. So that's another venture, the solar business, that you can do very, very well. And it has a market and it has a future, this one. because people are going green. Besides wanting the convenience, the ecosystem, we know exactly what's happening. All countries are trying also to deal with that. So they are also encouraging people to go green. We use our solar. And besides, like in Africa, we have abundance of this solar. We have sun. We always have the sunlight. So our solar runs, like we're talking about even now in winter. You find when it's still dark, around past 5, the solar is starting to charge already, which means our temperatures are high. So we have solar in abundance. So people always, once they use it, they experience the convenience, more people will continue. And people are already installing those because we use that solar forward. So we have solar geysers that you can like specialize in. We need, you can also like for the homes, just for the homes, functionality of the home, for the lights, for your TVs, for your gadgets, for your pumps, right? For your pumps, people use water to, like the solar to pump water into the houses, and they use that. And even in the farming areas, they need the solar to run their projects there. Some are rearing chicken. They need solar for the lights for the chickens and all that. So we are saying this market is so wide. You just to choose. But we're also advising from experience that when you want to like have solar in a home, what most people do, they start small, but you make sure you buy an inverter which has a larger capacity that you can like increase. You can always increase your solar panels. You can also add more batteries, and you go until you can run eventually everything, be it in a business, be it in a home, right? Because you want that convenience. You don't want to stop operating when your lights are off, and which happens daily. It's either a load shedding, which is just cutting off to reduce the consumption, to save the grid, right? So you can do without the grid, or you can use very little for the grid. You'll be doing good to yourself and to the nation as well, because you'll be saving them, and to other people as well, because you are using less electricity, so the other people can also get electricity, those who haven't managed to install solar. So we are saying this is another good venture to go into solar business. You supply. And Judy, hi Judy. Judy saying hello, maybe Sma. I just stamped on your live stream. You're welcome, Judy. Thank you, my darling. Oh, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome, my family. Thank you, welcome. Double tap on the screen for a like. Listening in the background. Thank you. You're at work, right? Thank you, my darling. I appreciate Judy. Yes, we are talking about the ways and means of making money, the businesses which are available and how they are doing, because most people were asking about how to make money. So we are talking about solar now. I'll give you another rundown again of what we talked about for those who have just joined. So now we are talking about solar. We are saying it's a great venture. And we're talking the reasons and the ways and the strategies and how it is viable. It is viable. And you can also be an installer. You can learn. Those are short. Yes, that's a good topic, sis. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Yes, so we are saying solar, it's a business that's there. Because, there are other businesses which have been redundant, which have been taken over by time. So they are being replaced. And you also have to look that way and identify an opportunity and get your space there. So we are saying solar is another business, which you can start even like those who are out there, find out, research, and see which companies are manufacturing solar, negotiate, be a bigger supplier, supply in big bulks to supply the people who sell in here. Or you can have a small outlet and supply, maybe specialize in one item and grow until you are able to supply the whole kit. Right. And you can, if you are small, you can only concentrate on one component, maybe changeover switches. And once people know that you supply these changeover switches, those other people who are selling other components, they will refer people to you. So you always get your market. Business, you just have to be patient and you have to do research and understand the market. That's what we're talking about here. And we're also saying you can actually be an installer. There are short courses to learn how to install so that you like go to people who supply solar, the shops. Once you prove that you do good jobs, once you prove that you are reliable, once you prove that you are efficient, they will always refer their clients. The people who buy the components, the people who have bought the kits, they refer them to you to go and install. And some are even being employed by the shops for them to be there. When people buy, they go and install. And they also give the backup service for these people who have bought, excuse me, for people who will have bought, right? For people who have bought, you give a backup service for this equipment. So there's a lot. And for solar, even now, everything's going there. There are even iron, the ironing, the iron, IRON, the iron you use. There are now solar ions. So solar is going to stay. You just find your space. You see where you fit in. You can go big, you can go small, you can go tiny. Just one component, concentrate on that. And today, it's easier because there's the internet. You don't even need to open a shop at times. You just stock your thing by a corner in the house here and then sell. Right? You can just put your things in a corner, your solar panels, advertise on the social media, advertise on WhatsApp. Judy is here. Judy might be looking for thinking around buying solar or installing solar in her home. She can call you and say, I saw you advertising solar. What do you have? How much is it? Can you give me a quote? And you get a customer on the internet. That's the other thing. Yes, that is a good topic, sis. Please double tap on the screen. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy. Please double tap on the screen. Thank you. Thank you, my co-pilot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me because I told you guys I'm chasing watch hours now. I need that support from you. And so that's why I need all these likes. I need the comments because I've reached the 1,000 subscribers. You remember? We celebrated a few weeks back. So I appreciate when you visit my life. It means a lot. You are supporting our channel. So I'll share as much as I can. I'll share as much as I can. I hope some people will come back some other time. Or even if they don't come back, they will say, we got this from Ma's channel. And that will give me satisfaction, That's my desire to impact lives and to inspire other people. Yes. You are doing great, sis. Thank you so much, Jude. I appreciate. So we're talking about the solar. I don't know. This one, don't close your eyes, guys. From whichever angle you approach it from, solar business is real. and it might be a game changer for you. Then we also talked about hardware. We touched it in the other life about the bricks, the cement, and all that. We were talking that you can even go, there are people who manufacture as well, bricks and all that. You can get the contract, or you can get an account, and you can be a middleman. You can supply that. In hardware shops, I was explaining to say some of the things I'm talking about, it's out of through experience, and some it's through observation, and some, yes, just what we are seeing now, the trends, right? So I've talked about some areas which I've experienced, like the mining, the fuel, and the hardware as well. Because solar was not there then, I didn't do that. Sugarcane, I didn't do that. But I've seen, I've observed, and I can share that. So in the hardware, we're talking about, I was telling people that I used to supply also cement and bricks. Then why? Because there was a time when the manufacturers of cement would not allow anyone to buy less than 600 bags. They would want you to get the truckload. So I used to, you would register your company there and get the license to do that. So I would buy those bags of cement, like a truckload, 600 bags, and I would put them in somewhere for them to be sold, especially in areas where there's a lot of construction, upcoming suburbs, right? And I would buy also bricks. There was a time when they would say you don't also buy less than 5,000. So we used to do that. But now you can also have an outlet where you sell your cement, or you can market, like we were saying, on the internet. Then you go and buy it when you already have a buyer, so you don't stock. Because some people don't have the time to go and look for bags, and at times it's in short supply, and at times they don't get the quality. This cement have qualities. They'll tell you, I want this type, I want this type, I want this type. You have to be knowledgeable about that. So you choose your line. You choose your line of, you learn, you have to understand that. So we used to supply that. You identify also areas where your market can be, especially the areas where they are building. You have a good market there. Don't forget to make your life public so that people will be notified to join you. Oh, thank you, my dear. I'll do that. I appreciate Health Bites for that advice. I've noted, and I'm loving the solar business, but I need to do more research about it. Yes, so true. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Health Bites. Yes, you need to just do the research. At least I'm giving you the skeleton, then you go and do your research. At least you have an idea, you do your research. I was telling others that you need to have your book and pen. Ask those who are doing it, or go, like now you have the internet, search and note down, calculate how does it cost, what is involved, how much profit can I make, so what are the costs involved, and you see whether it's viable or it's something that you want to try. And I'm just giving you the skeleton. You do the research, have your pen and paper, do some calculations, find out what's involved, what are the costs, what does it take, and you can see whether it's profitable, it's viable. You jump on, you see. So thank you so much. I'm happy Health Bites. It's something that you have taken home, you are taking away. I'm impressed. It fuels me, man. It fuels me. I feel so, I feel so happy and encouraged. I get that satisfaction. If you are taking up something, I pray you will make something. You're welcome, ma. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Health Bites. So these are the other things. And we say it's also there are like tools which are used by builders. Those are the hardware that we are talking about. You can also have those things for sale, shovels, wheelbarrows, and things like that. They always sell because, like, now there's a lot of development in terms of property development. So people will always be buying that. And there's a lot of also people who are going for training. They buy those tools to the Polytech, and even others are trained hands-on by their, like the main builders. They train others. Those people who are going to be trained, they will buy their own tools, which is hardware as well, right? So we are saying the hardware is wide, so wide. It involves the geyser, the solar geysers, which is something most people are opting for now because the geysers, they use a lot of electricity and people are trying to reduce their consumption. They want to use as less as they can. So they're using solar geysers. A lot of people are using solar geysers. Those are other hardware, paint, things like that. I know the people who have gone as far as even manufacturing paint. Those are things that you can learn because wherever there's construction, they will need paint, they will need all these things that we are talking about as hardware, and which you can sell on small scale, medium, or large. You can have a shop, you can sell from your backyard, you can sell just like on air there. You go, you sell, you market, you get a client, you go and buy, you go and supply, you get your markup. That's business. Then you grow. If need be, you can now go further and open a shop if you need be. But where we are going now, you see there's online business. We might end up not needing to to have like a shop. You will only do it for maybe things you will assess. You will do your own assessment, right? You will do your own assessment. So, but some of the business, like now, we're privileged. There is technology. Construction is always on track. People are always building, and there is money in construction. NOMSA is saying that, thank you. Construction is always on track. People are always building, and there is money in construction. Thank you, NOMSA. Very true. Very true. That's something which is in. And these are skills which you can easily learn. I don't know, there's this pamphlet I had. I'm still to assess it, but I realized some of these courses, they don't take very long. And because these are hands-on, some of these courses you just go for a few weeks, and like now they're also teaching online. You learn the basics, you learn the theory, and you get attached to the people hands-on. Even if you were an assistant for a builder or an assistant for a tiler, you learn on the job, right? You learn on the job. So these are other skills that you need to learn. But also as a supplier, tiles is another thing we were talking about. These things are so many. Supplying of tiles, of the grout, of the components that come along with tiles. You can pick one or two. You can just choose to supply grout. There's a times when it gets in short supply. You can choose to supply the cement that they use for the tiles. What's the name? I can't remember. The floor tiles, the wall tiles. Like right now, people are tiling to as far as the walls, they tile them. And these products are products which are bought in bulk. Because even if you are tiling a small room, you won't need one bag of the tiling powder or the grout. You need more. The adhesive, the tiling adhesive. You need more. So these are areas that you can explore. and this is the construction area. You can also be a contractor. Construction, we talked about that earlier on. You can also be a contractor for construction. Because I was giving people an example. Nomsa, I think she had said, we are appreciating that we thought we were too late in terms of age. But I was saying, at times, there are no limitations. You just have to find your space. There are things that you can do from the comfort of your home. Like I was saying, you might not need even to go and sell. You can market online. Just invest in your internet, market online there, and sell your products. People will ask for them. Then that's when you go out, go get the product and supply. So the elder can also do that. Even the disabled, I even gave an example that I once met a lady here in my country who had come from South Africa, who's running a road construction company. She's on a wheelchair. She's disabled. She's on a wheelchair. I saw her with my own eyes because she was a friend to my contact. Yeah, she was a friend to my contact, right? So she had visited that lady, and that lady told me about it. I said, no, how? Because I wasn't then aware of the road construction business, because it's something that I've never done, and it's something that I'd never paid attention to. So she told me, that was long back, because here we only knew it's done by the big companies then. There were no indigenous companies which were doing road construction. So I made sure I wanted to see her. Then I went to see her, and she was on a wheelchair, and she was running a road construction company in South Africa. She was building roads in South Africa. She would go for tenders to build roads in South Africa. So there's no limitations, because she went to learn about that and she knew what was doing. So hers was just to run the company. And if she has capital, invest. And that was another opportunity to take advantage of. Because of her disability, she could also get some financial support. Do you understand? So whatever situation you find yourself in, you can take advantage of that. And that can also be a privilege at times. And you should grab it. There are no limitations in these things. So construction is another way. There we've talked of where we've talking of building contractors. You can also employ your own builders, but you have to have rough knowledge. Rough. Here I'm also talking from experience, because I also do some projects for people. I go manage their projects, right? So you have to have an idea to see where do you get the good builders. You should have a list of your good builders. You have a list of your good electricians. You have a list. I think I've mentioned some in some of our videos. You have good builders. You have good. Why you need more? Because at times you want them to do a job and they're busy with another project. So you have a list of your builders, you have a list of your electricians, you have a list of your plumbers, you have a list of your carpenters. You see, good ones. And how do you know they are good? You can't unless you have know-how. How does a good structure look like? You should have, if you want them to do roof, do you know about a rafter? Do you know what joins the rafter? Do you know how it looks like? Do you know how they lay on the walls? So that you can, even if it's your own structure, you will know they are doing the right thing. You should have an idea. Because this is how most people also lose money or do one job 2 to 3 times. You repeat because of errors which will be done, because you also can't identify errors. You can't pick when they're doing the wrong thing. You have to have an idea. And like now, as we were talking, the internet is there. You just use your search engine there. Google and find out. And you can manage your project, your own project. You can also manage other people's project, because at times other people are busy. You should have an idea, how do they tile, which quality of tiling adhesive is good, because there are others which are not. Which type of tiles is good for what, right? Which tiles is good for the bathroom? Because I've seen people who have tiled the driveway. There was a time I went with my friend to a certain lodge. She wanted to book accommodation for her workmates who were coming from another town. And I mentioned, and she was saying, this is beautiful. When we went there, it was newly renovated and there were tiles on the driveway. And I told her, I said, but it's nice, but this is not the best that I could have done, because they'd put those thin, shiny towels on a driveway. But if you don't have an idea, you can go and choose them because they're beautiful. But you need the heavy-duty ones. You need also the rough ones, which have a grip for your tires. These are some of the information that you need to have. So when we went there the other time, they were all broken. It was now an eyesore. I don't know if they've sorted it now. It was an eyesore. They'd all broken. So you need to have those things. You need to understand which tiles are suitable for what. For the bathroom, for the sitting room, a place which has more traffic. If it's for your business, where there's more traffic, which tiles? It's not all about being beautiful only. About your veranda. Can you put these thin tiles which can be affected by rain in a veranda? No, because they will easily chip off. They can easily come off because of the wetness, because of the moisture, because of the rain. So a veranda will have a different type of tile, right? Some who put tiles on the walls, which type? Like right now. So these are some of the things you need to have a know-how. You need to have some skills. And these skills, you don't need to go and sit in a bench and learn them. Like right now, we are privileged. If you can, yes, you can attend some workshops. But like myself, I do attend some workshops, like people are launching, like a company which is coming to introduce their solar geysers. I go and hear and learn, so that when people are installing, I know. I will ask them, did you put this? Did you put the strainer? Did you put this? How is it supposed, like, right? Yeah, my friend, someone was saying their geyser fell off. Why? Because there is somewhere where the legs have to sit on. And if you don't know that, they will just put and they say, we've put the geyser. But if you have an idea, I'll ask them, those legs have to rest on something. Those are small, trivial things, but very important, very crucial. You can lose your money. You can have the roof damaged, like the solar geysers which are put on the roof. You can have a loss. So you have to be well informed, to have some skills, to attend a lot of workshops. Even people, if are introducing their new products, you attend their workshops, right? You attend their workshops, you ask also, which is the best quality, which is suitable for what. And I intend to go and also visit some other project. There's someone who have invited us. They are doing like metal work. The people who do the aluminium windows fabrication, the people who are doing the burglar bars, all those things, you need to know the quality. You need to know the reasons why something is done in this way. You need to have that basic information. Whether it's for your own project or not, you should have an idea. Because if you don't have, if maybe by mistake you hire someone who is not well experienced, you can guide them, right? You can guide them to say, no, we need this, we need that, and all that. Like even on the building, you should know, where do I put a double wall? what do I, the people who have built, even not putting that black sheet, they didn't know. But if your builder forgets or your engineer didn't write it, it can be a mess. Even on your windows, there was another time I was doing some windows for another portion. And my builder was arguing. I was telling them to put the this which will hold the moisture. What do you call it now? How can I forget it? Fine, whatever. Someone can remind me. I have it, but outside there. No, inside somewhere there. There's this strip that you put. How can I forget that name? Honestly, when I'm talking about construction, come on. Hey, think, how can I fail to remember that? Oh, I've lost the name. But there's a strip that you put there which holds, like, protect moisture to go up. You even put it at the bottom after your foundation when you start to put your wall. If someone knows it, can you remind me? And you would need to put it on the window sill there. Right? You put it so that if the moisture falls onto your window sills, it doesn't go into the wall. And one of my builders was saying, it's not necessary, because they didn't have the understanding why is it even put when you're building. But if you have an idea, you also save yourself from like substandard work. You see. So that's about construction. That's about construction now. So we are saying you need to have information, and you also need to consult. And these are some of the business that you can do. You can be a consultant for other people, because it's not papers which work here. It's knowledge and experience. You can also manage other people's projects, like I was telling you. I do it here and there. You manage other people's projects. And that's what we're talking about, income, flows of income. If you get $1 from there, that's money. It's coming, right? You manage projects, but you have to do it diligently. You have to know your stuff. Someone has to be happy. That's the only way you will get other clients to grow your business, right? So you need that. You can also we said you can be the building contractor. And the building contractor will involve the builders, the carpenters, the tilers, everything to do with building. You can be the main person there, but you'll have your other people coming in, right? Like last time I talked about, my father was a building. I think that's where that interest came, because I used to go, my father was a tough guy, eh? He would ask you, you have to know all the tools. If he says, bring me a level, spirit level, you have to know it. If you don't, climb the steps, bring it here. You see? So I think that's why I generated the interest of construction, because I would see my father building schools, building clinics, would go there to do some payments for his workers, building schools, building clinics, building secondary schools, which are even there up to now. When I pass there, I get excited. So this was built by my father. But he had a lot of workers, right? The builders, the carpenters, all that thing and all that. So you can be the main contractor and you do the jobs. You can take the whole project. And people want that convenience. They don't want to be looking for a builder. When the builder is done, they want to look for a carpenter. When they look for a plumber, people want someone who can just come and do everything for them. So being a building contractor, it's another line of business which can be very good. And I've also talked about being a project manager. You can also manage other people's projects, right? Wow, that's great. Thank you, Health Bites. Exactly, you should have an idea. Norms are saying that's so true. Yes, you are really experienced. Health Bites is saying that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, some of the things I'm talking from a position of experience, and some observation, and some But wherever I go, when something is going on, I make sure I analyze. I'm also an inquisitive person. I ask, why is this thing there? Why are you doing this? Why are you like what? Like of late, I was having my consumption of electricity was so high, it just changed. And when I called an electrician 2 days ago, I just thought while I'm waiting for our power company to come and check, I reported the fault. They were saying maybe it's the gadget or something. While I'm waiting for that, I also know if there's like leaks, like disconnections on your wiring, that can cause that as well. So I called my electrician and I told them to go there, open the boxes. There are boxes where they join, they connect, and tighten those, see if there are loose wires, tighten them, because that can also cause losses. But if you just call an electrician to say, can you check my house? They don't know what you want them to check for. But if you have an idea, you also guide them to say, I want you to check, please check this and this and this, but what else can cause this? So that next time when I come across someone who needs that information, at least I can be of help. I can be of help. So that's exactly what we are talking about construction and tiling and paving. Those are other things that people are learning. Brick molding. There are companies which have come up, which are molding bricks. They just get the equipment and mold bricks. And their bricks are competing with the bigger manufacturers. And they're making good sales, especially the bricks for the walls, the bricks, the common bricks. The common bricks is that brick. And when you do your double wall, the bricks that you put inside, that's a common brick. Right. So those bricks, most people are manufacturing, they're manufacturing well, good standard, you see. So it's also another line of business, brick molding and pavers. The pavers that you put outside your house, the driveway, and others put concrete. They just put concrete. But that concrete, people at times, that's why you have a lot of cracks. You'd think when you see others, they have that, it's nice. You'd think you just put the concrete and level it. There you're done. That's a driveway. But no, I also discovered you need to put the mesh, this big mesh wire that you have to put there. That's why I find some places there are no cracks when there's a concrete. Others have. You need to put that mesh. There's a specific name now. I can't remember what's the name of that. But it has bigger, the mesh wire, it has big spaces, right? So you line it before you pour your concrete. If you are going to use the black sheeting, you also put the black sheeting and put that will strain the mortar. So it won't have too many cracks, right? So you need to have a know-how of those things so that if you have a project going on yourself or other people's projects, you know what to get. But other people, if you just tell them, I want you to come and put a driveway, they'll just come and they just clear, put the concrete, they are done. But if you are using concrete, you have to put that so that it doesn't crack too much. And when you are putting the pavers, you see, you also have to put the black sheeting for the moisture and all that, and some rivers, and you have to know those basic things. Those are basic things, but they mean a lot because they can cost you, and you need to ram. Others, they just come, level, and put. If you don't ram, like harden the surface, you need to ram. Like right now, there are machines which you can use the hammer. They can't remember the name now. What do you call it? Yeah. You just ram, make it hard. That's why I find when you go to some places, there are pavers. Some they've like grids, it's lower, it's higher, it's low. But when they put it first, it was level. That's the reason, because the surface was not rammed and you didn't prepare the surface properly. So those are some of the things that you need to know. And these are other line of businesses that you can venture into. Yes, Health Path is saying that's great. Thank you, thank you. And saying you are really experienced. Thank you, thank you. Yes, to a certain extent, I am. I am. I am. So we are saying, we have talked also about tiling, we've also talked about brick molding, but there are other big people. When you have money, you can go into bigger projects. Like here in Zimbabwe, there are people who are also now making tiles, manufacturing tiles. Yes, there are people who are manufacturing tiles. There are a few manufacturing companies, tile manufacturing companies. Yeah, that's English, guys. Tile manufacturing companies run by locals. You just have to have an idea. You just have to know which equipment do you need, right? So you can also, like another business, one special field, but it's still part of construction, like the fitted cupboards. The fittings, right? Just like the fitted wardrobes, the fitted cupboards, the kitchen fitting, right? You see those cupboards that you can do. You can choose to be the supplier of the materials. Just to be the supplier of that wood and the tops, countertops. And there's granite, there's all those other types of tops. You can choose to do that, to be a supplier of only that, countertops in their variety. You can, and you also be following trends. Like right now, you might find granite might be losing its grip in the market. So, but there are people who still want them for their reasons, for durability. Oh, thank you, thank you. Health Bites is saying the live stream is loaded. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, Health Bites. So they do that, isn't it? You can like specialize in supplying those things, like the granite tops. There was a place in the rural areas in our country, somewhere in another province in Mashonaland there, where it's manufactured and you get it so cheap. You just load it, take it to a city where you want to sell them. They come cut, they are cut, you get the measurements for people, you tell those people to send them by trucks, you pay, you have that. Help by saying more people need to watch this. Thank you, share. Thank you. You share. You will share the live with others. Even as a video, I'm gonna make it public, so you can always share with others, so that they'll benefit one or two things. Definitely, one or two things, and it will mean a lot because it can save money. It can save money. It can also make them have money. Right, I think so. That's the whole idea. That's our intention actually, for people to know this information, because there are things that we take for granted that we think everyone knows, but at times, because there are places where I've gone also, and when I ask about something, I realize I've seen this thing, but I didn't know this was the purpose, or I didn't know this is how it's done. So at times we take it for granted that people know, but at times they don't know about it, or they haven't stumbled on that information. So that's our purpose, to give out the information so that it might benefit someone there. So when you think it's valuable, also just share the video, share the live also for people, share the channel. or maybe for people that you might need their building, or they're planning to do this, or they're also trying to get into business, they will find one or two line of business that they might be interested in. But at least if you have basic information about that thing, you can start to research. At times it's just like when you go into something and you are said, ask questions. What do you ask about? You're not, you don't know what to ask because already you don't have the basic information. But if you are told something, some information is there, the little there, then at least you can ask. Then you can understand more. So it's the same. If the people have an idea about this type of business, they can research. They know what to research for because they will have at least an idea. More people, yes, thank you. So true, thank you. So true. You're saying so. Health buys, thank you. So we're talking about these cupboards. You at times you just say, I want a fitted cup, I want to fit my kitchen and I want it white. But you have to know, right? This is the business that people can do also, but you have to be informed. You have to know which type of wood is suitable for what. The people who have you heard someone saying my cupboards are rotting? Because they've put the wrong type of wood by the area where they use water, by the sink. There's a special type of wood that you need to put in your cupboard for where there's water, sink, right? And at the bottom, those skirting, because you can have a flood or your tap can leak when you are not there and the room is full and the cupboards are damaged. But you have to know the type of wood that you use in areas which can easily be affected by water, right? So these are some of the things that you say you want to venture into the fitted cupboards. It's another line which is doing very well. Everyone, when they build a house or when they repair their house or renovate, they have to put cupboards in the bathrooms, in the kitchen, in their bedrooms. They need wardrobes and they need tables to read. And now people, they even fit some like for your TV stands. Then some will need just some fitted cupboards at the bottom there, and some will all that. That's another line of business that you can just venture into. You just need the basic knowledge. You can employ your own carpenters and they will do that for you. But you have to know the materials. You have to give information to your clients. When your client comes, don't be mean with information. But at times you're not mean, but you don't know. You also have to know, what do I recommend to my client? What do they need? This client wants a kitchen. This kitchen is going to be used for what? Is it just a home? Is it for a kitchen which is going to be used as a business? Which quality of material do they need? Right. All those things. So that when your client comes, you can give them options. You can give recommendations. They'll make their choice fine. But you also have to inform them. If you use this, this is how it goes. This is what it means. This is how durable this thing is. Based on their pockets also, they can make the decision. Say, no, I just want to do basic because I don't have the pocket. But if some of them will be having the pocket and they can choose something which might not be, it will not based on information. Well, they're not well informed. So you also have to be a good contractor who can give information, who can advise their client so that they can make their choices based on they are well informed, so that they don't lose. Next time, even when they recommend other people, they'll tell you this one will advise you, this one will help you even to choose. And even the screws, when you venture into that business of fitting things, there's type of rails which are, have you seen cupboards which are just falling off? It's just because of the type of the rails that they've put. And at times it's because of the type of the hinges. You see the hinges, those that join the board and the doors. Yes. At times it's just because they chose the wrong thing or they didn't know. Your carpenter might not even know also the difference, but you have to know which one are durable, which one are suitable for this heavy wood, which one are suitable for this type of wood. You see? So we are saying, hey, you can explore these business opportunities. So the fittings, just fitting things, which will stretch even to like doing furniture. Like right now, people want customized beds. They want customized chairs and tables. You can venture into that. This is another line of business that's doing very, very well. As long as there's construction, there's these fittings which will be needed. Besides renovations, people now they change their buildings, they bring up new things. They want to change the fittings inside as well. Besides, again, you also have like people who would like people who break. Is it not the beam which you were looking for the word lately? No, the beam. No, 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 not the beam. The beam will be this one which you strengthen so that it will hold things, where you frame the metal and put the beam. No, you see, that's the sheet, Nomsa. What do you call that thing? It's just a sheet. Oh, what do you call it? Give me 2 minutes. Let me show you. Excuse me. Yeah, I want to. I'm sorry about that. This one here. What do you call it? Nomsa? I forgot. I'm totally, I don't know. The name has run away from me. You see, where you would put it like at the bottom after your foundation there. You put it before you go up with your wall. So this builder of mine didn't know that you need this before you put your seals by the windows. It also helps because some seals there will be water going there, so it will be moist. I know it helps to prevent moisture into the walls. But what's the name? I don't know why I've forgotten that name totally, but it's something that I always have. So that's the thing. We're still, it's just about knowledge, just to have a little bit of knowledge for your projects or for other people's projects, or for just sharing with other people when you get to someone who is doing some name. You've also forgotten the name. Ash, I don't know. I don't know where the name has gone to. I'm a bit busy now, but still listening on the background. Sorry, I won't be able to type. No, it's fine, Health Pies. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for joining the live. It means a lot to me. Thank you. I greatly appreciate. Thank you. It means a lot. I appreciate that. I understand. Yes, so we were talking Brick Force. That's the name. Brick Force. Yeah, I've remembered now. That's Brick Force. Gives force to the. No, it's not. It's not. Brick Force is the wire that holds the metal. This one is what kind, guys? No, no, not that Brick Force. No, 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 no. Sorry, it's not Brick Force. It's Esh, I don't know. I don't know. I will remember it. I can't remember. Damn course. Rest. There it comes. Damn course. I've remembered. Give me likes. Give me likes for remembering these people. All of you just say yes, 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 yes. Say yes, yes, yes in the comment section. Say yes, yes, yes in the comment section. Yeah, that's temp course, Nomsa. Say yes, Nomsa. Type yes. That's temp course. I've remembered. Say yes there in the comment section. That's temp course. Yeah, the temp course. Some people don't know that when you do, like before you put your window frames, right? You must put temp course there. Then you put another layer of a brick or your molds there. So that you see the other windows where water will be shattering onto that thing, onto the seals, and it will go into your wall. And with time, it will damage your wall. Yes, so you need to put that damp course. Some builders don't. But if you know, you insist because this is your project. It's you who's going to lose. The builders will be gone. Yes, yes, Nomsa. Hey. Nomsa is saying Wagona. Wagona means it's good. Yes, Ndagona. But yeah, it cracked my head. I'd forgotten that's damp course. Damp, isn't it? The moisture. It will just be helping you to control the dampness into the bricks, into the wall. Yes, it's very important. But those are basic things that you need to know so that you advise your builder. Some might, people have a tendency of saying it's not important. This is not important. Have you come across that? Did you relate with that? People, especially the young ones, they always say it's not important. No, don't worry, this is not important. But if you understand yourself, you know exactly why it's supposed to be done, you will insist because at least you have an idea, you know it's supposed to be there. Your builder might overlook that at times in error, they might overlook. But because you know, you have an idea, you will do that, isn't it? Exactly. 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 So we want to like get into real business here and have some flow of income. You can start slow. The problem that I realize people, they just want to do it with force, and that will strain you, that will destroy you. Do it as you can. You can just supply these things once in a while. But because of demand, and these days it's easy. You do it online. You just go and supply when they've come to go and just do the count. So this can be your income, sources of income, either to supply or to provide the service, like you are building, or you just supply the products where you have understand exactly they want faster, you will see damage later. Exactly. They want faster, and they want shortcuts. They want shortcuts. Some can even tell you this place is small, you don't need a beam like the beam you were talking about. The beam reinforces the structure. And if you don't put it, that's when you find cracks. You see? And the loss will be for you, the owner of the project. And if you are doing it for someone else, it means you will have lost a client. If not many, because they will also not recommend people to you. So you will have lost a client. There's nothing as important as your client when you're in business, isn't it? Because those are the people who will buy. Those are the people who request for your services. You see. So I think for today, this is where we'll end. But we'll have part 3. We'll have part 3. Go and watch this. Those who joined in the middle, go and watch. Even if you have watched, you can watch again. You can watch again. Just I'll put it on the playlist for the lives. So you can watch again, see what you benefit. It was really nice having you. I really appreciate you. I greatly appreciate you for joining the live. May the good Lord bless you, keep you safe so that we'll be together in the next live. May He provide you with the desires of your heart so that you always also have the internet. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.